how manipulators dominate you. I'm going to explain the whole process so that you understand it, you can spot it, and you can get out of those relationships as fast as you can. Let's begin. Hello, my lovely people. My name is Kate. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'm working with people on their subconscious mind, that hidden mind that holds all the pain, but at the same time, the full potential. And today I will talk about how to spot the manipulation from narcissists, psychopaths, even toxic people, by the way, and all of them are doing that unconsciously. Once a manipulator understood the process, once they saw that the manipulation works, they grasp on that idea. It becomes unconscious, just like you drive the car. You know what to do automatically. The same for manipulators. They just grasp on that whole strategy, right? They will not be able to explain it the way I explain it to you, right? It's the people who start to analyze narcissists, manipulators, toxic people, and psychopaths that they can absolutely start to explain and describe everything that happened. So for you, please listen. If you have anyone in your life who you feel is dominating you, manipulating you, putting the control, trying to control you, right? You need to know this in order to spot it and to stand up for yourself. Or you can start becoming smarter, becoming more aware, consciously aware of these manipulations. And when you start to be aware of the manipulations, you start to build the wall around you from these people, whether it's the closest people to you, or maybe someone at work, or even someone you know. So the first thing that the manipulator does is they are switching you on. The first method that the manipulators use is switching you on. What does that mean? That means that they are looking for your values. They're looking what's really, really important to you. For example, if your body is important to you, you're like super concerned about how you look like, right? They catch on it. They catch on, okay, so the body, the look, how much you weigh, how you look like, right? It will be very important for them. So they will catch on that and they will start to work around it. So first, praising you. So they're switching you on. They're praising you on different things. Oh, you're so amazing here. You're so amazing here. That's a great job. They use different methods. You know, if you have been with the manipulator, you know how they first start to kind of recruit you, right? As in order for you to see what is the most triggering for you, what makes your heart sink the most, right? What praise? And when they find it, sometimes it's about your career, sometimes it's about your personal development, sometimes it's about your accomplishments, and maybe your family. So they will find that. They will find, okay, when they found that, what they do is, number 2, manipulators are splitting your mind. I know it sounds weird, but that's exactly what is happening. So they have to take that value, right? And to kind of bring it outside. Because if it's important for you, if, for example, your body or the way you look or your career or your job or your family, your kids, whatever value you have, time, right? Quality time, recognition, validation, whatever is the value, they're going to bring it outside of your mind, right? So that's kind of a start of the manipulation, start of the abuse. Usually the switching on, you don't notice that because we all love to be praised. We love it. We look for it. We seek appraisal and validation and acceptance. But when they start to split your mind in half, right? What is they're picking on it? They're picking on that value. How they do it is the step number 3. Step number 3 is they start to, no matter what you do, it's not that. Not enough, right? So you put on the makeup, right? You put on a beautiful suit or a dress, right? And you get criticism. This isn't the best way you could dress. This isn't the best look you could look like. Maybe you could put on a little bit of this, right? And you start to pick on the manipulators, the narcissists start to pick on that value. right? So picking on that value, they start to look, no matter what you do, that's not it. That's not enough. What do you do? Because when we are under control, we are in the submissive, right, state from manipulators or narcissists or toxic people. What we do is we try to find a way around it. So you start to find other options, more pleasing, more apologizing, more, avoiding maybe, or just like, not noticing these signs, these red flags. Right? You start to go around it to find a way around it, because if you're seeking praise, you've already been praised in the first step, right? And now you want it again. So you're gonna be seeking to it. We are, we think that we are very complex. Our behaviors are very simple, right? We will be seeking what feels good, what feels pleasurable. And if praise around your body or around your career is pleasurable, if your mind linked pleasure to it, it will seek for that pleasure every time. And then when you already tried everything but nothing looks, that's where nothing works for the narcissist, right? Because it's never enough for them. And then the split happened. So your mind is split. You're confused. You are helpless and hopeless. So 3 steps and you're helpless and hopeless. You feel like in that childhood. So they bring the subconscious mind and they throw you back into that helplessness and hopelessness that you felt as a child. If you are with a narcissist or with a manipulator or with a toxic person in a close relationship, whether it's your boss, a manager, or maybe a partner, then sorry, but that happened. It's from the traumatic experience from the past, from some learned behavior. Number 4, once the narcissist or the manipulator split your mind, right? What they do is that they start to use metaphors. Our subconscious mind uses metaphors. It works in metaphors. Or you're like a pig. You're so stupid like a wall, whatever, right? So metaphors are very strong and we accept them and perceive them in a very strong manner. Right? So usually it happens in the way that people the narcissist or the manipulator starts to compare you or the process you do with something metaphoric. Or, a rabbit would do it better than you. Or, dog is smarter than you. And they will do it to the point where your subconscious mind takes the suggestions and starts to use it as well. When you start to accept that suggestion, you start to say, oh, I'm stupid like a dog, whatever it is, right? Dogs are smart, by the way, sometimes more smarter than us, but it's an example, right? So they find that phrase and you take that phrase and you start to say that to yourself. They accomplished the step 4. They accomplished, you start to say that to yourself, done. Step 4, done. Step number 5, once you start to lower your self-worth, your self-esteem, right, it's done. What do you do then? As they are starting to confuse you, mix you, they're starting to play. They test your suggestibility, right? So they're starting to praise you a little bit and then boom, metaphor. Starts to praise you a little bit, boom. Right? They need to test whether you actually lowered your self-esteem is down. They can control you completely, right? They're testing, they're giving you this. And when you start to surrender to that, to be submissive, to start to please, number 5 is done, right? So mixing, how they can do that? They can also mix the time, right? You used to be so much better than now. Now you're slow like a slug. Right? So they start to mix time, metaphor and time. So this is a big manipulation. And if you start to notice that, you can eliminate manipulators and narcissists from your life completely. That's why I'm telling you this, because I want you to spot them right on, so that you surround yourself with beautiful, amazing people who will nurture, cultivate the best parts of you and not actually picking on the darker, painful parts of you, those that you actually need to heal, right? And number 7, right? The step number 7 in the recruitment from manipulator or narcissist is the suggestions. That's when they actually give you any suggestions they want. Because once you start to believe in something, that you're stupid, that you're not that smart, you will never find anyone, you used to be good and now you're no one and you're worthless, you start to take other suggestions way easier and way faster. And that's the recruitment process. This is how manipulators dominate you. And you can put this process and put it to some other toxic people. It could be, by the way, your friend, your best friend. It could be your old partner, and you can be like, oh, I remember my old boyfriend or girlfriend used to do that, or my wife or husband. And then you can put that process with your boss or manager or supervisor who was also toxic or manipulative. You can put that in so many different situations. When you are noticing that, right? That's your first healing moment. When you start to notice and put the system, oh, he was doing this and this and this. He actually lowered my self-esteem so much. It wasn't about me not being worthy. It's actually he or she told me, the manipulator told me that I'm not worthy. That doesn't mean you're not worthy. So once you start that process, noticing, and you start to detach yourself from that person, taking the space. The space is the crucial moment in the healing process. You take the space. You create the space between you and that toxic person. And don't get me wrong, a lot of us can be toxic as well. Once I started to learn about toxicity and narcissists and manipulators, I've noticed that I did so many manipulations in the past to my kids, to my husband. But of course, right, I was able to get out of that. It doesn't mean that I was a narcissist. No, narcissists have a huge suppressed self. They don't even know who they are anymore. But it wasn't about me, but as well, I also used manipulation. So we all use communication is a manipulation, but your job is to come into the conversation, to come into the relationship, right? Dominating, being curious, standing up for yourself, being confident. But in order to do that, you need to recognize what is not that. Where is the submissive part in the communication and where is the dominant part in the communication? And you can dominate it. You don't have to dominate in a disrespectful way. You can dominate in a very respectful, incredible way, like a teacher and a student. A student will be a submissive. They will take the suggestions from the teacher, and the teacher will be in a dominant state, but that's not like the narcissistic manipulation or any type of other abuse. So I hope this video was valuable for you. I love you all. Please subscribe, like if you want to work on yourself. You can find all of my details down below. I have online courses. You can work with me and I can help you break that cycle and recognize what is not working for you. Maybe you're an empath and you need to realize that actually, you can change that. You can start being yourself, coming back to yourself. So all of the details in the below. Please comment if you have anyone in your life acting and recruiting people just like that. I will be happy to read your comments. I love you all. Be healthy emotionally and physically. Bye.